The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees has invited Equity Group to be a private sector catalyst for a new refugee integration initiative named Shirika Plan. UNHCR Deputy High Commissioner Kelly Clemens thanked Equity Group and Safaricom for their willingness to sign memorandum of understandings to help accelerate the integration of refugees and host communities.
We are absolutely delighted and honored to have two strategic partners with us. Equity Bank and Safaricom, you know, have been huge supporters of what you are trying to do here in Turkana, but also for UNHCR and for refugees, it extends beyond even this part of Kenya, and it goes much further, and for that we are very grateful.
Speaking during the tour, Equity Group Managing Director and CEO Dr. James Mwangi stressed the need for financial inclusion of migrants and social integration of refugees alongside host communities.
We chose to partner with UNHCR as a local institution. As you know, Equity have had programs here on education, and I'm very excited that we now have produced 4 medical doctors and have now set 2 medical centers. One of them is a refugee. So it shows that the process of integration with the host communities is gradually happening.
Equity was invited to join the plan together with Safaricom during a private sector partners mission to Kakuma refugee camp.
This has been a very entrepreneurial approach by government to allow the private sector to make its contribution. If we could enable Safaricom and enable Equity, then we can do the rest as you focus on policy.
The UNHCR and private sector delegation visited some of the facilities that support the Kakuma refugee camp ecosystem, including Okapi solar mini-grid plant and some families. The Shirika Agreement seeks to scale up existing refugee-based programs under some of Equity Group Foundation pillars, as well as broaden collaboration areas for greater impact.
I was impressed that the initiatives by UNHCR are centered on social. A lot of education is involved there, economic activities, the integration, and essentially then we are creating an environment where refugees can thrive in a scalable and sustainable manner, because the model you have adopted is a lead economy model, you know, and as somebody said, very demand-driven. And that is what allows the private sector to play in. Because we then can be a great catalyst to support you in a sustainable and scalable way.
Dr. Mwangi, who is also the Equity Group Foundation Executive Chairman, said the foundation will consider expanding Equity Afya franchise network within the refugee camps to benefit more migrants.
We have embarked on a journey of transformation. And you can see now we have an Equity Afya clinic here, of an Equity Afya in Odua. If we could really find a way of integrating health, and Equity would be willing to come along and say, you normally give safety net payment maybe every 2 months or even month or whatever it is. If we can take a small portion of that, would be willing to provide a health insurance policy to the refugees, and they would be treated on an insurance policy, because the biggest burden is not feeding themselves. The biggest challenge and risk for refugees is when a member of the family falls sick.
Shirika Plan is a collaborative program between UNHCR, the State Department for Immigration, and the private sector.
A huge thank you. I leave missions like this, obviously, full of renewed energy about what collaboration and partnership can really mean and why it's important.
We can pick the lesson learned and the insights thereof and really make a global model of how integration can happen. On behalf of Equity, I want to thank you for the opportunity you have given us to serve humanity. Thank you very much.